right, so you said the elect are those chosen to receive the grace of God based on what Christ did.
Yeah.
So the non-elect then, and we want to be like precise, at least we want to try to be precise on how we define this. The non-elect then would be those who were chosen to not receive grace.
Yeah.
They were left alone to receive justice based on what they did. And that's the key thing. The elect are chosen to receive grace based on what Christ did. The non-elect are chosen not to receive grace. They are passed over. They are left to themselves to receive justice based on what.
Now, do you understand what he just said? So if we take the Jacob and Esau analogy, which is oftentimes the one Calvinists will go to prove unconditional election to salvation, then what they're ultimately saying is Jacob was elected before he did anything good or bad for salvation, but Esau wasn't elected before he did anything good or bad. His good or bad was taken into account. And so Esau's good or bad was taken into account, but Jacob's good or bad wasn't taken into account. And how do we know that? Well, because of the 1689 confession, not because of what we actually read in Romans 9. This is why high Calvinists call these guys inconsistent and not real Calvinists. This is the kind of inconsistency because they're trying to have their cake and eat it too. They're trying to get God off the hook for reprobating people for no apparent reason before they're ever born. The higher Calvinists laugh at these guys and say, hey, if you're gonna try to do that, you might as well just be an Arminian. You know, and so I'm just pointing out you guys are putting yourself in a situation where you're using proof text to prop up unconditional election to salvation while ignoring the same exact text which would demand unconditional election to reprobation, i.e. Jacob is chosen unconditionally before he done anything good or bad for salvation, according to how you're interpreting that text. Therefore, Esau must be unconditionally chosen before he did anything good or bad for being hated, reprobated, if that's the way you're going to interpret the text. You can't have your cake and eat it too, gentlemen.